Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie, and today I'm going to be talking all about the new Elf and Milani blushes. I decided to get all 4 of the Milani shades, and then I got 5 of the Elf shades. So in this video, I will be basically doing face swatches, and I will be putting them all on. I have different ways I'm going to try to apply each of them. I'm going to try my finger, I'm going to try a sponge, I'm going to try a brush. So we're going to see how they apply best. And so this is what both of them look like. I asked in my live stream the other day which kind of video would people prefer, if I did a separate video on each or put them together, and the vote was to do one video, which I think totally makes sense because these released like right at the same time, pretty much like this one released and then the next day this one released. So I thought it'd be fun to compare. I think I might have some similar shades between them, so I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to face swatch the 2 shades that are similar, so we're going to get a feel for them. I'll also be inserting some arm swatches for you and labeling them so you can take a screenshot if you would like. So I'm going to zoom you in and we'll get right into the face swatches. So actually the shades don't seem that similar. So I'm going to get started. First I'm going to go in with Coral Crush, which is what that one looks like. And then right next to it, since it's kind of coral name, I was thinking Turks and Caicos, which is this one, this shade over here. I don't like how the bottom doesn't have the name in it. It has a like really small print down here under Made in China, which is kind of annoying. Now next to each other, they definitely don't look that similar. This one looks lighter, but we'll see, like once it's on the face, it might blend out to be really similar. So for these first face swatches, I'm gonna go in with my finger. So I'm picking up Turks and Caicos and putting it over here, just tapping it on. This is the Elf blush. And that looks really nice and pigmented, but easily blendable. Love, my face is going to love just wiping these off like 4 times at least. I'm just gonna build it up a little bit more, see how much I can get. That's a really nice shade, I really like it. Then on the other side, I'm going in with Coral Crush, and this is what it looks like on my finger. Looks very pigmented. I probably should have not rubbed it in that much. Just gonna blend it out. I feel like this one maybe blends just a little bit easier. I'm gonna go back in and just add a little bit more and blend it. This is a really nice shade too. I just love the sheen that it leaves. It just looks so natural. I really love that. So this is what they look like in comparison to each other. I would say very different. This one actually, I don't know about how coral this one is. It just looks a little bit more pinky on the skin. And I do just want to mention I did not set my face, but it is kind of like foundation that has set for a little bit, at least the first one. So now I have fresh foundation on. I'm not going to set it. I'm going to go in with a brush this time. Here's Nude Kiss from Milani, and then on the other side is Tahiti from Elf. So you can see they're not exactly the same either. I would say that Tahiti is just a bit warmer. This time we're going in with a brush. I feel like I really have to kind of rub it in here to pick some up. To go back in again, kind of put a little bit more on. So that's pretty much kind of where I would usually leave it. But I'm gonna just pack it on a little bit more so we get a better idea of the color. Then on the other side, I wiped off my brush and I'm going in with Nude Kiss. And this one right off the bat is definitely more pigmented. I feel like this formula already, just like from using my finger, from using the brush, I feel like this formula is just a little bit more dewy, while the other one's maybe a little bit more matte. But it could also be the foundation. These actually look very similar on once they're on. So this one obviously brought down a little lower But here is the Milani, and here is the Elf. Next up, these will probably be a little bit too deep for my complexion, but I think I could use them if I thin them out. So we have Merlot Moment from Milani, and this is Fi from Elf. This one's more mauve-y, and this one's more like a red, almost like a red. So this time I'm gonna use a little sponge, pick it up on the sponge and just tap it on. I usually am not a huge fan with using a sponge. I find that it lifts my foundation a lot of times, but maybe this will be fine. So I'm just kind of packing it on a little bit. Definitely this one is very, very, very pigmented. If I use this, I would use like the teensiest, tiniest amount. And then here is Merlot Moment. Oh my God, that picked up a lot. So I'm gonna kind of wipe it off a little bit. Again, if I kind of shear this one out, I think that will be nice. I think this would be like a nice kind of winter blush for me because it is on the mauve side. Just gonna put on a little bit more so we can really see the pigmentation. Very pigmented. I went a little ham. Oh my gosh. So here is the Milani, and here is Elf. So you can really see the colors on this face swatch for sure. So second to last, we have Blushing Berry from Milani. This is also very, very vibrant, and I will have to shear this one out. And then the Elf shade is Bahamas, and so these are obviously very different, but this is like more like a coral orangey kind of blush. And I'm gonna go back to using a brush, and this one just, I really, really have to get in there to kind of pick something up. I already know I'm gonna love this shade. This is my kind of shade. I love these kinds of shades. A little bit more orangey. Definitely love that one. Kind of matches my lipstick. Let's try to go a little bit more. So there we go. And then on the other side, going in very pigmented, just with this brush really picked up much better. Just gonna go with a little bit more, blend it out. Definitely need a light hand with this shade on my complexion. But here's the Milani, and here's the Elf. Whew, now on to the last one. All right, so I reapplied some foundation over here just to even out my skin tone. And I'm gonna go in with the last shade. This is from Elf, and this is Bora Bora, which is a really vibrant, I would say cool toned pink. And they had a couple more shades, I think at least like 2 or 3. I don't exactly remember, but those are definitely too dark for my skin tone. So again, not really picking up that great with the brush. It's a really nice kind of shade. I like this. But I do like both of these, are very buildable, but I think Milani is just more pigmented, I would say. And I'm gonna go in with a finger on this one. Since this is the last blush, I'll just do both sides. So there you have it with like a brush versus a finger, pretty much the same. Just building on a little bit so that they're even. Really, really blushy today. And so here you have it. Here's Bora Bora. And those are all the blushes. And so those are all the face swatches of the Milani cream blushes as well as the Elf Putty blushes. Now Milani has 4 shades and they're $8.99 each. I believe I did get a coupon code, so I think I saved like 10 to 15% off of that. And then the Elf Putty blush, they have 8 shades, so double Milani, and that one is $6, and you can probably also find like a 10% coupon code. So they both have very competitive prices, and I think it's a great price for this product. Now, which one would I recommend? Really either. I think mostly it will depend on the kind of color that you're looking for, because Elf has more shades available. Maybe you prefer to get a shade from there. Now, I can't speak on longevity. Of course, I haven't actually worn these and wear tested all of these. I did apply one of the Milani blushes on my bare skin once, and it actually looked pretty matte. So it's very likely that the blush will look either matte or super dewy depending on the foundation, or if you're setting your foundation underneath. I didn't put these over set foundation because I usually wait to set my face afterwards, just in case I don't want to risk any kind of disturbance of my foundation that has been powdered. The Elf blush feels a bit stiffer. I do think that Milani's is just a bit more pigmented versus the Elf, which is a little bit lighter, but I think if you really put on a lot of product, you could go in and it would be pretty pigmented. But I do myself prefer a buildable kind of blush, so I don't mind that at all, but I also don't mind having to go in with a light hand. It's really just personal preference. So let me know in the comments below if you picked any of these up. Do you prefer one over the other? I also think that you will be able to find these in drugstores for even less. There's a lot of sales in CVS and Walgreens, so definitely keep an eye out for those if you would like to dip your toes into cream blushes. I think this is a great option, especially the Elf one, because it is $6, and with a sale it'll be even less. And that way you can kind of get a feel for a cream product. And so that's everything for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribed. I post a lot of indie makeup content, especially eyeshadow content, but I really like to dabble in some blushes and other products. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.